adventure. This trip looks a little bit different because we're actually doing all the driving and that by ourselves. We're not going with anyone. The in-laws weren't able to come this trip, and we're meeting my family up in the territory. So yeah, we'll see how we go. There's one thing Meckering is definitely they definitely tell you about is the earthquake that happened, obviously back in, what was it, 68. Yeah, even the museum, the big camera, we've been in there before and they were advertising that, and they've done up this garden. There's an overnight stop here. Last time we stayed, the Galahs and the 28s, they were just so noisy. But yeah, it's definitely somewhere to stretch your legs. So I've just had a lunch stop near Southern Cross. This is take 3, by the way. Just, yeah, anyway. We've just stopped here. It is a 24-hour parking bay. We have stopped here before, not with the caravan, but with the camp trailer. So it's quite a pretty one. It's a self-contained one, so there's no, obviously, littering or anything. I've just put on the billy boil as well, so we'll have dinner pretty much ready when we get there, or when we pull up tonight. And yeah, we'll see how we go from here. So just in case you were wondering where you can get water across the Nullarbor, you can get it at Cockabiddy, but obviously it is $2 for every 10 litres. And Chris is just checking the air in the airbags, I think. Oh, sorry, the tyres. So we've made it to a spot where we actually came last year with the boys and Donna and Jeff, but we're in a little bit of a different campsite. We sort of, because it was only us, we decided to go off the trail a bit. Can you remember what this site's called? It's like something's dog.
Something.
But yeah, it's on Wiki Camps. It's about what, 10, just over 10, maybe 12 k's out of Yulara.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually so far off the highway you don't hear anything. So yeah, we thought, oh bugger it, we'll pull in here again and actually pull up in with some sun to pull things out. We've actually got the chairs out tonight, like
Travelling Oz with Dogs Roadside
Travelling Oz with Dogs Roadside Camp. So yeah, but I'll give you a bit of a look. We're sort of hidden in this sort of section. It's quite secluded, like a little bit of highway noise, nothing too drastic. But yeah, definitely plenty of room for, like, there is absolutely no one else in here. And last time we were here, we were in hoodies, we're in shirts. It's so not, it's breezy, but it's not hot. It's just nice. It's like dry season weather, yeah? All right, so yeah, we'll check in with you tomorrow and let you know how far we get. So if you're in Kimba and needing water, there is a water point, and it's just sort of it's opposite the police station. There we go. So yeah, we're just filling up with a bit of water now before we move on to our next part of the day. Where's that film going? So last night we stopped at a rest stop called Owen's Rest. It's actually, I wish we got here in the day, like the daylight yesterday, but it is what it is. So I'm doing a quick film for you now. We'll be at Ayres Rock this afternoon, so I'm quite excited for that. But yeah, it's not a bad little spot to park in. Lots of flies. So I'm doing the Marla walk into or around the rock. I don't know where it's going. I really don't. I didn't even look properly. All I know is that it's going to take me roughly an hour to get around. Chris isn't with me because he didn't want to walk, but it was also $38 per adult to get into the park. So see where I end up. Okay, so there's sensitive site. I'm not allowed to film past this point, but that's okay. You might just have to come here and experience it for yourselves. I'm back in the car. But just in case you're thinking of coming and doing the walk around here, like, don't get me wrong, it was awesome, except the flies. The flies bring a fly net. All the tourists had them. I don't know why the fuck I didn't have one, but, well, I do have one, but it's back at the caravan. But just as I was getting towards the car park, somehow one got up my nose and didn't leave. I know this is too much information. I've just gone and blown my nose and it was gross. It was so gross. But yeah. So just a note for future reference, bring fly nets for walks around Ayres Rock. I completely forgot what the territory was like with these bloody flies. So yeah, see where I end up. I'm going to go for a bit of a drive and have a look, and yeah, see what other sights I can see before I have to head back to the camp. course the Kenworths get like a nice tiled entrance. So one of our first stops with friends of ours, as in my bestie, we stopped at her mum's place across from Edith Thor's. So future bed and breakfast / Airbnb potentially. See what happens in the future. But yeah, it was an absolutely cracker weekend. Had so much fun, but we did have to wait a few hours for them to actually get there, as it was a Friday and they had work. So, but that's all right. So we drank into the night, and to be honest, I don't think I've stayed up past midnight for years. So trying to pull out the storybooks here, and yeah, waited up, and we were basically, I reckon it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning before we actually got to bed. So all fun and games. So on to Katherine. trip. So from Perth to Pine Creek at this stage. Keep watching if you want to see our adventures through Darwin and heading back home. You have been watching Marsh Family Travels. See you in the next one.